that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, is we see it as our premier ability, the crown jewel of the release, and that's called Matterspark. And Dave has joined us, and he's helps us take the vision of the narrative and the design and the art and smush it together in amazing experiences. And so I think Dave should talk to us more about Matterspark.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So there's this new source of energy on Kepler, this strange dark matter. So the Guardian finds itself to the dark matter
I'm not gonna do it.
the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will allow you to completely change form. Transforming into Matterspark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
So obviously, one big part movement, one big part combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matterspark Ball kind of influence the world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah,
I mean, there's potential for this to be really cool. I really do believe there is a lot of potential for this thing to work really well in certain activities.
To get to a new space, a crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a whole new area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with enemies. Instead of taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a Matterspark pad, transform, turn into this electric ball of death, and then just start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind, and then really give the House of Exile on Kepler a bad day.
As well, we should. It's a good day for us as well. So what are some of the other Kepler abilities that we'll be able to unlock while we're out there as well?
Yeah, so each of these Kepler abilities are a mix of dark matter and our Guardian's powers. So we have the Relocator Cannon, which is this new fallen dark matter tech mixed with void. This is going to allow you to bypass laser walls, use these cascading relay networks, and just basically teleport around the world. Another ability that we have is Mattermorph. This is dark matter mixed with strand, allows you to manipulate the environment. You'll be able to basically push and morph and move geometry to create bridges, open up doorways, and also reveal secrets.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so what's really important about what Dave is describing, and when we're thinking about
that is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. There's
some
cool play sessions you could do with that.
And solve little puzzles and mysteries throughout the missions, the free roam, and the quest content, and beyond. But also what was really important to us is that we lean into Destiny's first-class ability gameplay. And so with Matterspark, like Dave is mentioning, you're jumping, you're dashing into enemies to destroy them, you're doing giant explosions with them. With the Relocator Cannon, you're just blowing everything up with void explosions and graviton style, projectile, little secret projectiles. And then what's really fun about Mattermorph is you can just be throwing these strange shurikens basically to just delete an encounter before you then start to morph the environment around you and move to the next area. And so it's just really exciting I'm incredibly excited about watching players just solve puzzles and fight encounters in ways that we don't even expect yet, and see how they take on the destination. And just I really want to emphasize, you're going to be upgrading these, and when you get into especially the post-game experience, it's going to there's something unlocks with Matterspark that really changes the way that you can play through the entire destination.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about dark matter,
I have to admit, that was pretty cool.
Yes.
We have darkness abilities like Strand and Stasis already. How is dark matter different?
Yeah, so dark matter and darkness are two completely separate things. They're completely different things. But dark matter does exist in our world. In the world of Destiny, we know it as being tightly connected to the Nine. It's what the Nine are actually made out of. In our world, dark matter is invisible. You can't really see it. And it wouldn't be very fun to make a destination where there's an invisible thing that you can't actually see. So lucky for us on Kepler, there's a bioluminescent microbe that allows us to see all of this substance that's impacted this world so much. It allows us to see how it's impacted
I
the
mean, the
quest line, how it's
destination does
impacted
look
the behavior of the
cool.
peoples that we're going to
Looking at
encounter.
it the second time,
And we can see
it does
how
kind of
it
feel
has
like a
been able to
PvP map. I
bring
will
these things
admit.
that are kind of unstuck in time
It's like you're
into
looking at
this
like a
application.
PvP map as
do
a
have to put on my
destination, which
drifter hat for
feels
just a
weird
second.
for me to think that
Like,
way, but it really
What does it
does.
smell like? What does it taste like?
Yeah. Dark matter smells and tastes like bleach and math. Yeah, it's true.
Cannot wait to get that chip flavor.
Yeah.
Get it with a sandwich today after.
It's zesty.
Yeah, it's really good. Actually, so on the topic too of stuff in the trailer as well, we heard someone talking there. Can you tell us who that was?
Sure, that was Lodi. Lodi is a new character that we're introducing
Lodi.
in Apollo. Not in Apollo, we're introducing him in the end.
Apollo. It's funny how you said
I want to
Apollo.
give a special shout out to Brian Villalobos, who portrays Lodi and does a spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Down for anything.
It's down for anything. And
yeah.
what if that fish was kind of made to be pulled out of the water? I don't want to give away too much because this character is way more fun for the players to figure out what his deal is. But I will say that Lodi is very, very far from home.
Very fair, very exciting. So,
I do have to call out too. Before we started this, you and Robbie were talking about how Lodi is like a notice me character.
Oh yeah. Robbie wanted a senpai.
I
yeah.
did. Yeah, I wanted someone that I just wanted to spend a bunch of
Yeah.
time with on this new adventure we're going on.
Yeah, a friend that we can look up to.
Yeah.
right, yeah, notice me.
Notice
Notice
me,
me.
Lodi.
Yeah, of course,
He
it
will,
writes
he will.
itself, or rather, Allison does. So, with regards to the characters as well, so is it a whole new cast of characters in the Edge of Fate?
No, we're going to see some new faces like Lodi and other characters, but we're also going to see some familiar ones too. Ikora is here. The stakes are high enough that she's here investigating what's going on. And as it turns out, in one of our major mysteries, she's kind of at the center of it. She was invited here, as was Lodi, same as we were. All of it's kind of tied together.
Very exciting. So,
Yeah, the way, oh, if I can,
No, no,
yeah,
please.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
please,
like
yeah.
the way we think about this is about all these characters, their fates are intertwined in some
Yes.
way. There's these puppet masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so as a guardian and these characters involved, they're gonna have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about. For these individuals, that's what they're going to have to go through and determine about how they can stand up to
I
this,
mean, there
new
is
conflict
potential that
that
they
is
could
surrounded by the
there
Nine
could be
because they
some
are
surprise
fated to
elements
be
to the
here.
story,
And
but
what does that mean for them?
I
What does that
mean,
mean
we'll
for
have to
their
wait and
future
see. I
individual
mean, it's
souls?
very hard to tell because I
with
mean,
regard to
I
these-
feel
these
like
characters
the
and
first
world we find
expansion for a
ourselves in,
story
was there
might
anything
not
about that
necessarily
setting
be
or in
like the
particular
best
that
thing
really
you'll
influenced the
see, but
creation,
I
rather
feel
of
like
this world that
we're
gonna
gonna
be
get better
inhabiting?
ones in the
I'll give
saga
you a list of
later.
fun facts.
That's what I feel
First
like.
off,
I feel like
if you've been
Ragaday
paying
is probably
attention
going to be the
Destiny
better
over the last
expansion than
week or
Edge of
so,
Fate
you already
for a lot of
know that
people.
There's been people on Kepler for a long time. That's an old ass computer that you were putting those numbers into. We also know that the Vex are here. They're studying the Nine because it turns out the Nine can do something that the Vex can't. As Dave mentioned, the House of Exile are also here. They've become fixated on a being that they call the Giver. And kind of most importantly, the dimensionality on Kepler is really thin. So the 3 dimensions that we can know and see and touch are very close to the realm that the Nine live in. And that means some things from Earth's past have been yanked into Kepler's present.
Exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations throughout this, and we need to call out an invitation that's actually going to be waiting in the game after this is over. Ride of the Nine begins today.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a trailer to show.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring a trailer along. I'll go ahead and give it a look really
Yeah,
quickly.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Right of the Nine. I mean, I think the first difficulty,
so
the
that's
Explorer
Ride of the Nine,
difficulty
yeah.
is better.
Our essential prologue story for the Edge of Fate. And these 3 dungeons that are featured in this event are free for all players starting today. And so what's really important about this is that these dungeons are both for veteran dungeon crawlers, hardcore raiders, people have been in these places a lot, but also new Guardians who have never stepped into a dungeon before, right? What was really important for us when we were developing Rite of the Nine was that we are changing the formula on how we can think about how we can welcome even more people into these experiences. And so you're going to be able to go in solo, buffed up, and explore a dungeon by yourself, or go in match made with other fire team members shoulder to shoulder for the very first time. But don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore dungeon crawlers, where you're going to be able to earn the best possible loot, exclusive rewards, and also an exclusive title as part of Rites of the Nine. What's also really important about this event for being a prologue for the Edge of Fate is that it really reintroduces the emissary into the game, and you're going to learn why her job is pretty crappy and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we saw at the beginning of this show. And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch about how our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward, the day-to-day of playing Destiny, week over week experience. And we've got someone else on the couch here to help us talk about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who has gone ahead and joined us on the couch. We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack, creative director here on Destiny. Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, seriously.
There is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up.
Yes.
But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby, as we call it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all parts of the game, everything from Edge of Fate, through our seasons, through the fundamental systems. And in particular, like Robbie was saying, I've been focusing on thinking about the kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those like not only stood up but also transformed and iterated on in some really exciting new places.
Nice. Let's go ahead and just start at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about what the core formula of Destiny is changing and why?
Yes. So I think we need to start with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny, what is great about Destiny. And Destiny is best when you have awesome chases that you're excited about, you have really cool, powerful builds to make, and there's a mountain to climb that's right in front of you that you want to climb. You're like, I want that mountain, it looks pretty cool. And the thing that is not always true right now in Destiny is it doesn't feel streamlined as it could. Players don't have as much agency. We want to be player driven, we want to be more rewarding than we are. Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes. So thinking about that whole picture of, okay, what is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future, that's where all the changes you're going to see have started, at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and this is we're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah. I mean, to that same end, then, how are we making it easier, pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun?
Oh, no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. Yeah. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to log in your character and see your ship in orbit. It's going to say, it's not going to say open director, it's going to say open portal. And the portal is the new front page of the game. We're trying to get you to the front as fast as possible, and as few clicks as we can. We even have Edge of Fate there in the corner, so that it's right immediately there. No fumbling around with the map to get to it, really. And we're also taking other big parts of the game, the ritual game and for seasons, and putting them into these ops categories. So the idea is that we're having these different ops for different moods. We're having solo ops. We have a bunch of fire team ops. We have pinnacle ops, and of course we have crucible ops, still super important for the game.
Yeah. I mean, to start up at the top, can you tell us a little bit more about what solo ops is?
Oh, yeah. So solo ops is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a bunch of activities that are made for solo players. And the conception point of that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have dependencies on other players, but they still want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes and get some real progress.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot and get your character forward and feel like, I played some Destiny and that was great. And even if you don't feel like playing with other people, that's fine, because we have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this.
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the portal early on was like, where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new.
I have to admit though, the portal.
And so the
I feel like it's going to make things
is now
more.
all available.
I'd like to be hopeful, more simpler.
In one place.
But then at the same time, it's also that too little, too late comment comes in.
Any of those categories,
especially in this section of the reveal. A lot of people are saying it's too little, too late.
Old players who are coming back.
But then at the same time, I mean, I feel like it's a really good change for people who might be finding it hard to come back. I think there might be some potential. It will be useful to, maybe if you have friends who haven't played in a very long time, maybe it might be useful to them.
For years to come. And so